What's going on, YouTubers? This is Godzilla215 here, and today I'm doing a Godzilla review for you guys because I haven't done a Godzilla review in I don't know how long. I would say it was probably the video I made for Godzilla on his birthday, and that was probably the last Godzilla video I made since then. So here I am doing a Godzilla review for you guys, because I know I haven't done one in 2 months, so I figured I'd do a couple more for you guys. So yeah, so this channel it is changing just a little bit, because you could tell that I do have a lot of Jurassic World stuff around here, and the reason is because I'm still into Jurassic Park, which I didn't think I was going to be still into, because I was more on Godzilla. But after buying the Jurassic World toys and seeing it in theaters when it came out, I was like, I love the movie. I'm back into Jurassic Park. I've never been into Jurassic Park, but we're not going to get into that, but I'll talk about that in a channel update video, I would say. But right now we're just going to focus on the review we're doing today. Today's review is on the NECA 1985 or 1984 Godzilla. Most people prefer it as 1984, but in the US we didn't get it in the US until 1985. So yeah, here's the figure. I'll just do a little rotation of him from my camera view. So the figure was released last year, in 2014 around Christmas, and I got mine, I would say, a little bit early, like a little bit later in December, but I really wanted to get him first. Well, actually, yeah, I did get this figure first because I knew if I didn't buy him at first in stores, then he would be off the shelves really quickly, because this is a very hard figure to find, especially the Memorial Box version. And this was probably my first ever 1984 Godzilla figure, because I have no 85 or 84 Godzillas in my collection, so this is a first. And I would say it has some good detail, and there could have been some things that could have been a little bit better for it, but this is the figure, so we're just gonna get into the review. So the first to start off with the review, we are gonna get into detailing and sculpt. Now, a lot of people complain about the sculpt not being really movie accurate to the suit, but in my own opinion, I would say the detail and sculpt looks pretty nice. Like, I like the chest detailing that NECA did up here for the chest. You can see he got all of the warts on his chest right here, and if you put your finger around, like if you rub your finger against it, it feels very rough and skinny feeling. And so most people say that the arms look like he's wearing sleeves. It does look like it a little bit, but it does look a little bit weird. He's got like weird wrinkles right here, but then you get like smooth skin on the upper arms. His claws look nice. I have no problem about the claws. And he's got his belly, which has some wrinkles in the skin, and you got some like scales on the upper thighs. I would say the face job looks dead on accurate in my opinion. You can see he has the big teeth as he has, and he's got them anime looking eyes on him. We all remember what the prototype picture looked like at first, which looked really bad. So NECA decided to fix that issue, which is a good idea. Then the inside of the mouth looks really detailed. If you look inside, you got like gum detailing up in there, which look really cool. I would say detail looks perfect on this figure. I think NECA did a good job with the detailing. I would say his thighs are a little bit too big and too round. Like, I think they should be at least a little bit slimmer looking instead of like big. But they do have some good detailing on the legs. And then if you come down here, he's got like really skinny jean look on his like, I would say shins right here. I would say the feet are way too flat looking. You know, one thing that's on all of the 85 Godzilla NECAs is that on the right foot there's this long toenail. It's on all the 85 NECA figures. I don't know if it's a factory error or it's just, who knows. Now the spikes look really nice detailing, but the only thing that I do not like about them is that they're like super thin. Like they're like thin as paper, and that's what I do not like. They're very flexible, and it looks like if you just take a pair of scissors and just cut these, they'll just quickly get a nice rip into these. So I really do not like these paper thin spikes, because I want them to be more thicker, like some of the other NECA figures have came out. But they gave this guy paper thin spikes, which I do not like. They're nicely detailed and nicely sculpted, but I would say they're just way too thin. And that's my only issue concerning to the spikes. The tail is pretty round and it looks pretty weird because of the spikes on top, and it makes me think of the Imperial Godzilla figures because it just has that look to it because of these spikes on top. But it is nice and long. It's about, I would say, 7 inches long. So it's a nice long tail. So yeah, sculpt and detail looks pretty nice. Although there's some problems about the figure that could have been better. First, let's open the arms out like this. I should feel like that his upper body right here should be at least a bit thicker as his waist goes. It should be like as the same size as his upper. Like his upper body should be at least thick as his waist up here. And I would say that the sculpt that they put right on top here, look, does not match the bottom of his body. So you could see like a gap like right in there of his top body part. You see you got that weird gap. So at least it's thick on the back, but at least they should have made the back part of the bottom body at least thick as it closes up this gap right here, which looks not really well. I think they should have fixed that a little bit, so it makes it look like he's wearing like a weird, like he looks like he's wearing like a weird big sweatshirt or something. So that's the only two problems, and also that the thighs are like pretty big and round, and they should be at least small because you got this other gap that's right in there. At least it doesn't look noticeable right here in this dark spot, which is a good thing that NECA did with this figure. So I would say there are two things that could have been fixed, is concerning about the body size, but everything else looks perfect. Now as far as paint job, now in the prototype pictures we got before they resculpt the head, it was really kind of the weird green color that it had. But in this product I have like some like blue highlights here and there, but it has more of a dark black skin. But if you look at it, but without, like, I guess you could see through the camera lens, but on my very own eyes I could see like some green here and there, but I mostly see blue a lot. But I do see some like green here and there. But he does have like some black skin on him. And I would say the mouth is nicely painted. As you can see, he's got tan teeth, and his mouth is like a weird gum color, like human gums are. I would say the paint job and the eyes look fantastic as well. His nails are the same color as his teeth, and so go for his toes. His spikes are painted with this white color, and it's got like this weird bluish, greenish for the skin texture on the spikes. So it's like a mix between like a blue and green. So yeah, paint job looks good. The articulation, he has pretty good points of articulation. You have a ball jointed head. It could also rotate so you can look around. There's also another scene right here in the neck. It's a ball joint and it can also rotate. His mouth can open and close. Now I like this articulation in the mouth because it's more smoother to open. Unlike the 95, 94, and 54 NECA figures, it's like so hard to like open, like you had to put more force in order to open, but at least this NECA figuring has a very smooth jaw articulation. But as you can tell, there's like a gap when it's closed, but when it's open, and it just randomly removes it. But I normally display him with his mouth closed because it looks a little bit better. But continuing on, he has ball jointed shoulders, so you can put them up and down, and they can also rotate. His elbows can bend, so you can have him like his arm like that, or you can rotate it. And for some reason this one's loose and it's easy to move, but as far as this one goes, I had to put like more force in it. But continuing, he has rotation in the wrist. It has some ball joints in it as well. His torso, now one thing that's also kind of stinks about the toy is that when you move his torso, the spikes rub onto the bottom part of the spikes on the figure. I do not like that, considering that the fins are paper thin, but at least it's alright for what it is. And he has ball joint at the upper, okay, sorry, but ball joint in the upper thighs, so you can go them, move them inside and out. It can also kind of rotate, but not like in a, but you get the idea. His knees can bend. They can rotate, but it's kind of stiff to rotate them. His ankles have ball joints. As far as the tail goes, here's the base of the tail that has a ball joint, so you can rotate it, move it up and down. And there's other joints. There's one that's right here, and there's another that's right here, and then there's another one. And this is the part where you have to attach it when you take it out of its packaging. Now, I do not like the fact that they do that, because I remember picking up this figure, and as soon as I took him out, when I had to put the tail in, it was so frustrating hard, because I was getting like so frustrated because I was afraid that I was going to bend it so much to the point where it's about to break. So at least some figures don't have that problem, as far as I know. But at least it's a rubber tail, which I do not like, because it's just a rubber tail that's just, if you bend it too much, it breaks. I really do not like that, but that's NECA. So yeah, good points for articulation, so it's going to be super articulated, so yeah. So detail and sculpt is good, although there are two things I wish there could have been better. Paint job looks nice, articulation is nice. Now let's move on to scaling. Okay, I'm going to compare them with this figure with two figures. So here is the 6-inch Bandai Creation Godzilla 2014. These guys are almost the same size, so let's see if I can get them on the same angle as the other figure. So I would say they're pretty much the same size, but the 2014 is just slightly a little bit taller, but not too much, but just slightly. Now here's another figure that I got for a birthday gift. So he's a little shy, so give it a hand for Orga. Now, way too big. That's because this is the figure that comes with sound, so you take out this and you just switch it on, and yes, it does work. And I should have done this when I just brought him out. So what you do is just do this. Awesome toy. I love it. But here he is next to Godzilla 85. Now, I would say not a good scaling, because 85 Godzilla is like 80 meters and Orga himself is 60, so I would say Godzilla's a little bit too big, and Godzilla would get his ass kicked pretty badly. So yeah. So final thoughts. It is a nice figure. I do like his detailing. I do like the sculpt, although there could have been some fixes about the upper waist and his upper body being as thick as his waist. Paint job is nice and articulation's good. So for my score for this toy, I'm gonna have to say 9, because I just don't like this gap that's just right there, and it doesn't look really well. But as far as everything else goes, I would say this is a really nice figure to have in your collection. Now, I wasn't disappointed about the figure, about about how bad it looked, but after having him over a year, it's actually a very cool figure, and I have to say that everybody else has to agree with me, because the figure is almost a year old, I would say, and I think us Godzilla fans should accept that this is our only Godzilla 85 figure that we got, and it's actually a NECA figurine, and there are not many 85 figures out there, and I think it's time for us Godzilla fans to say just let it go and at least thank NECA for getting us a 85 figure from NECA, because the Memorial Box figure is like $100 to pay for from the internet, but at least NECA gave us a nice 85 figure. So everyone at least has to agree with me right there, because this is our only product of 85, and I think it's one of my favorites. So 9 out of 10, but it is a nice figure to buy, and I really like it a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this review on the NECA 1985 Godzilla. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.